It's a power that lets you spread out arms and legs and even entire body parts on any surface. Sounds pretty simple, right? But the Hana Hana no Mi isn't just any quirky devil fruit. It's one of the most terrifying and versatile abilities in all of One Piece, from crushing enemies in an instant to being able to affect multiple aspects of the battlefield itself. Nico Robin's devil fruit hides a dark potential that most fans overlook, in my opinion. Join me in today's newest installment of the Devil Fruit Guide over here on the Everything One Piece Explained channel, where we're going to break down why this devil fruit might secretly be one of the most dangerous powers in all of the seas in One Piece, the Hana Hana no Mi. So getting right into it, we're going to start with the overview of the devil fruit itself. The Hana Hana no Mi is a paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to sprout, replicate body parts on any surface, whether that's the ground, the walls, or even the opponent's body itself. When activated, petal-like particles, they bloom and swirl as limbs appear, given the power of a deceptively graceful look. This devil fruit was first eaten by Nico Robin early on in One Piece, and at the time, its potential wasn't fully clear, but by the time we saw our confrontation with Pell, fans realized just how dangerous this power could be. This ability isn't just about sprouting a few extra limbs, it's about extending one's reach, it's about multiplying one's presence, and when used properly, it can help with controlling the battlefield from every angle. Over the course of One Piece, Nico Robin evolves his power from a simple self-defense mechanism and sneak attack into overwhelming force of strategy and domination depending on the matchup. If one of her fellow Straw Hats runs into any types of issues, all they have to do is shout out, "Save me, Nico Robin," and she'll be more than capable of saving them. Now, the strengths of the Hana Hana no Mi are pretty overpowered. The Hana Hana no Mi is one of the most versatile devil fruits in the series, in my opinion, for a lot of these reasons. It gives you the element of surprise. Nico Robin's limbs, they sprout out instantly, and only she knows where they're gonna appear. This allows her to bypass raw speed and strength in certain situations, even immobilizing fighters, some who can move faster than the eye itself can follow. Also, you have combat control by spawning arms directly on an enemy's body. Nico Robin can perform various grappling techniques. She can do joint locks, or she can just outright put you into submission holds the way Jey Uso did Gunther at WrestleMania, and she can shut down opponents before they even realize what's happening. She also has the capability of multi-target potential because Nico Robin can incapacitate an entire group at once, spreading dozens, even hundreds of limbs across the battlefield to choke out or to put people into choke holes and make them surrender. This devil fruit also has a really good defensive utility to it because Nico Robin, she can make little mini barriers, she can make shields, even giant constructs out of her limbs. She can sprout parts out of her body to use for reconnaissance, making her a very invaluable scout as well as a strategist. Also, it's very interesting when you look at the scaling portion for Nico Robin. Before the time skip, Robin could produce 100 limbs. After the time skip, her power grew to being able to make 1,000 limbs, even allowing for her to form gigantic limbs or create a full body clone. Her techniques have become bigger, stronger, more creative, more diverse, from giant arms to wing-like constructs to restraining ancient giants. Nico Robin is pretty much her. The Hana Hana no Mi turns its users both into a one-man army as well as a battlefield commander, or in the case of Sanji, she becomes a protector when one of her comrades is unable to fight in the battle, as shown when she used her new technique where she sprouted out a massive copy of her upper body and she produced those bat-like wings and the darker skin and the fangs and the horn. It made her look every bit like the devil, ready to unleash hell upon her foes, like we saw in that battle with Black Maria. When in this form, she can also latch onto her target, pull them, and easily break them when using clutch. Robin is even more formidable when you realize that she can apply the fundamentals of Fishman Karate that she learned from her time in the Revolutionary Army during the time skip. This allows her to make a giant arm and deliver a palm strike with the capability of making that circular shockwave that you see with Fishman Karate, which does massive damage to her targets if she uses it in combat. Nico Robin can even use 100 arms to make a formation that makes a spider net that can be used, shown when she saved Zoro as he fell. Robin can even make 100 arms to create wings from her back. This allows her to fly in the air for a few seconds, which comes very much in handy when you're in certain battle situations. She can even make 100 hands together, interlocking them to make a gust that can be used to divert attacks, and she can also block attacks as well. Robin can also make a giant limb that can sprout out from anywhere, and it also has immense power. This is what allowed her to push the Thousand Sunny away from an underwater mountain. She can also create legs to stomp down on her enemies too, like we see in the fight against the new Fishman pirates. As we spend more time with Nico Robin throughout the series, we see how her versatility using her devil fruit grows as the Straw Hats go on their various adventures. But what I like is that her devil fruit is versatile and that it can be used for offense, defense, and support, low-key making her one of the most useful Straw Hats of the crew, even after you take out the fact that she is pretty important when it comes to the poneglyphs. This is now where we move on to the weaknesses of the Hana Hana no Mi. So of course, no devil fruit is perfect. The Hana Hana no Mi, it does come with some rather unique vulnerabilities that are used to offset just how broken it is. In particular, you have damage reflection. So any pain, injury, or even an effect that is afflicted onto Nico Robin's sprouted limbs, it transfers back to her real body. If her replicated arm is burned or is broken or is touched by another devil fruit user, she's gonna suffer consequences, which again, I think is a fair trade-off. Also, you have physical limitations as well. Each limb, it has the exact same strength as Nico Robin's real one. So if an opponent is simply too heavy or too strong, her limbs, they're gonna struggle to hold them down. Gigantic limbs do help offset this, but again, there's a trade-off. They exhaust her even faster. Also, with stationary limbs, that's a problem too. Once the limbs are sprouted, the body parts, they cannot move from their position. They're bound to whatever surface that they appear on. You also have other drawbacks like environmental hazards. Fire, lack of space, ice, unstable terrain, it can prevent her or limit her from sprouting. Then you also have another weakness in the fact that it's a line of sight. Nico Robin has to know where she's sprouting her limbs. If she can't see or visualize the target, the attack, it might miss or it might latch onto the wrong thing, as we see in the Jaya arc with these South birds. And of course, Nico Robin shares all the standard devil fruit weaknesses. Seawater is a really big deal, and also sea stone can nullify her powers. Now this is where we get into my favorite part of the devil fruit guide, which is the symbolism and how it is a reflection of Nico Robin herself. The Hana Hana no Mi is more than a combat ability. It is a mirror of Nico Robin's character as well as her life story. It's actually one of Oda's more genius uses of devil fruits for his character. So Robin's power has always made others, at least early on, see her as a monster. As a child, there were people that feared her sprouting limbs and they called her unnatural. Her devil fruit, it symbolized her isolation, in my opinion. A girl who could reach out to others, yet she was constantly rejected and having to go from place to place, hiding after her home was destroyed. Looking at it this way makes you look back at different scenes in a different perspective, like when she gets sold out to the Navy when she's a child, or when she's saying, I'm 16, I'll do anything. You now have a different way to look at that. She was so young, but she was also seeking out connections and a place of belonging, a place of safety that we all search for as a part of our limited journey here on Earth. But as she grew, the Hana Hana no Mi, it became a symbol of connection. Nico Robin's limbs, they can appear from anywhere. It extends her presence across impossible distances, much like Robin herself, who bridges knowledge and history and relationships across the seas when you look at how her characters handle. Even her fighting style, it is deeply symbolic. She doesn't rely solely on brute force, but I'd argue more so on control, intelligence, and precision. Just like how Nico Robin approaches her life as a survivor and a scholar, she's very much as calculated in battle as she is in real life, which is how she survived so many years with the world government hunting her down. And even though she was running and hiding at a young age, she still found her way. After joining the Straw Hats, her devil fruit, we see it evolve along with her heart, in my opinion. What was once a power of fear and loneliness transforms into her being a power of protection and belonging, a power of support. The petals that bloom each time she uses her ability, they aren't just visual flourish per se. They're a reminder, in my opinion, symbolically, that Robin was once feared as a demon. She's blossomed into someone cherished, vital, and unshakably strong. That is why when she has that demonic-like appearance, when she's saving Sanji and Wano. That's why that whole scene had to be done, because in my opinion, that was Oda harkening back to the fact that, again, she used to be viewed as a demon, but now she's blossomed into someone that is cherished, someone that can protect, someone that is one of the heartbeats of the Straw Hat crew. The Hana Hana no Mi isn't just one of the most versatile powers in One Piece. It's a living symbol of Nico Robin herself. From a lonely child, once feared as the Devil Child, to someone who became the Straw Hat's archaeologist, Robin has turned her cursed fruit into a weapon of survival, hope, and growth symbolically. And in the world of One Piece, that is what makes her one of the most dangerous and inspiring and most fascinating devil fruit users, in my opinion. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, click here on the left to check out more videos from the Devil Fruit Guide, or click here on the right to check out my blind reactions as a brand new One Piece fan, going through the series chapter by chapter up to the current chapter.